very immediately I lose all my thoughts about everything else. Just become very much focused on what's here.
I feel like I'm in an eternally lazy summer day. You right now, with a beautiful pattern dancing on your face.
What we're seeing behind us is essentially an appropriation of an ancient windcatcher design. We became just super obsessed with the idea of wind and water becoming elements that could just enmesh and become a site for contemplation.
So there's both kind of structural engineering elements that are our adaptation of the traditional bâdgir technology. So essentially there's a tower here, and there's two structures, an inner tulip-like structure and an outer tulip. The wind hits it and swoops down. As the space narrows, it accelerates the wind, and it comes down through this opening and hits the surface of the water. The sun actually reflects on the surface of the water and projects all the subtle movements onto the bed of the pool. And you see these kinds of rippling motions of the wind bending the surface of the water. So there's all these subtleties of light and of motion we didn't even anticipate until we could sit here and spend the time contemplating and observing the surfaces.
So essentially the illustrative miniatures that are incorporated in the concrete are retelling the narrative of the six aspiring cultural ambassadors that through an accident go blind and become obsessed with the reinvention of time. This is the first panel when the 6 students are meeting with an architect who's obsessed with wind. So the architect is in the center inside the edifice. The next 3 panels are the construction shots of them doing it essentially. And the second last one is after they sleep in the house for the first night and lose their minds. And the last one is one of them turning the sun into a bowl. A lot of our ideas come through, telling stories and thinking about theory through the accounts and narratives that we encounter. Since we travel very often together, it's growing at the same time with the same kind of lived experiences.
Our main practice, I would say, is intuitively existing within a landscape. There are so many stories that people want to tell, and it just requires somebody who's a patient listener. We're still not sure, really, about what we'll come to with any of our works or with our lives in general, but we're just kind of giving ourselves to the process. Like Rouzbeh was saying, this isn't for us just about work, this is about our, a practice of living.